All right, so we're going to do a review on this bean here, and it is called, unfortunately, I don't have the tag in front of me, but I'll put the right name in the description because I have to look up the actual name of what it is. But I do believe this is called the Indie Wax Gold Bush Bean. And it's a great bean. I love growing this bean. It's a very fast producer, and it produces a lot of beans, and they're great eating when you're eating them fresh and raw. So it's a very good bean to grow. Now, so anyway, this is what it looks like. Here's the leaf on it. And here are the beans. You can see there's a whole bunch hanging there. It's a very heavy producer. The more beans you pick off of this thing, the more it's going to produce. And here's one. This is about the size of this bean that I like to eat. Now it's just starting to turn gold now, but if you wait till it's turned fully gold, it's going to almost be unedible raw like this. You're going to have to just let it go to the end and get the beans. So there's a very thin margin of error, so to speak, between when it starts turning yellow, it turns yellow, and then when it's just not edible at this stage anymore. So this is definitely the size and shape that I want to pick them at and eat them. You can see I got a few more here. I'll probably pick these and eat these. But if you leave them on there too long, they're going to go full all the way to the end. So in the end, I'm going to let a few of these go all the way so I get some beans off it. I don't need too many of them. I don't know if I'm going to offer these on my website because I do believe these beans are registered under the Plant Privacy Protection Act or something like that. Plant Variety Protection Act, PVI, PVA or whatever. So It is registered under that, so I can't sell these seeds anyway. But if you wanted to buy these, this is what they look like, and I'm going to describe the flavor of them the best I can. So, all right, guys, what's going on here? Here we go. That is the Indie Wax Gold Bean. It's a bush bean. It's not a pole bean or a climber or anything like that. These are very nice beans. I love to snack on these beans, even more so than a Romano bean. And I really do like to eat the Romano beans a lot. The problem with the Romano beans is you got to get them before they turn, to a bean state, or just before they get to that bean state. And that happens pretty quickly. So you got to be out here scoping the beans out the day before, where you're going to come in and know where to look and pick your beans. With these, they last a little bit longer in that stage, and you got a day or two before you could come out and just pick them. But you want to pick them and you want to eat them. You really don't want to store these things. You could probably get away with storing them in your fridge for a couple days, really, but not too much longer than that, because they do start to get brown spots and they go rancid, basically. But it's a great bean. Let's give it a bite. I could eat these things all day long. Okay, so it's very crunchy. It has a little bit of raspiness to the outside surface, so that's just something you're going to have to learn to get used to. If you cook them in hot water and you boil them, that raspiness generally goes away. But if you want to eat them raw like this, you're generally going to have to kind of get used to eating them with that little bit of raspiness. It's not bad or anything. It's just, if you've never eaten raw beans before, that's just something you got to get used to. It does have a nice flavor to it. It's a little bit different than your typical green bean flavor. It's got a little bit of a sweetness to it. Let me eat this part and try to work on that flavor. It's got a slight green bean flavor, like the way your green bean would taste. But it has a real garden vegetable flavor. It tastes really good. It's really hard to describe it. It tastes like green bean, but it really carries in its own flavor. It's a very nice green bean. I really like growing these. They're up there in my top beans to eat. That's why you see them. I'm growing them now. Now I do like to grow more beans. Problem is growing beans outside, the animals will destroy them, the insects will destroy them, and when it comes to beans like what you see there, I mean, that produces so many beans. Even if the animals do get to them and the bugs do get to them, they can't get to them all. I always end up getting more to my fill. So I don't grow these as much as I should, but these are up there with some of my top favorite green beans. But it's actually a wax bean. It's not a green bean. The flavor on these is just so natural and earthy tasting. It just tastes so good. It's a really good flavor. That crunchiness is amazing. I love vegetables that are really crunchy like that, and with a good flavor without, tardiness or tanginess or any of that. And the flavor of this bean just really comes out when you eat them. I could just come out here and pick these things until they're all off the plant and just eat them right there. And they're just good. They're really good. They're moist. They're crispy and crunchy on the outside. Now, I've never actually pickled these, but I have read you can take these green beans and pickle them like you do with cucumbers. So I have read you can do that. I am dying to try doing that. I just don't have enough. You got to grow a lot of these beans. You got to have a patch of them where you're going to get a couple of 5-gallon buckets worth. Then it's worth doing the pickling thing, because you're going to end up eating quite a few of those too as you're getting ready to can them. But you pickle them, and they're supposedly really good. They stay crunchy and everything. So I'll have to look into that in the future. I will investigate that a little more. But yeah, definitely, if you've never had a Indie Wax Gold green bean, definitely try it. They're really some of the best. I like these actually a little bit more than the green ones themselves. They just taste so good. They got such a mild, smooth flavor, no undertones, no overtones, nothing uncomfortable, no string in the middle that you got to pull off the thing. It's just perfect. So pick yourself some of these up at Lowe's or Walmart. You can't go wrong. So that's it. That was a review for the Wax Indie Gold Bean. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.